Hey, all you zealous and Zerg, it's time for some more StarCraft 2 action. I know I've done a couple of casts lately, but most of what I've done lately is my Diablo 3 beta run through, so haven't been too many casts during that time, but I've run through that. I hope you've watched it. If you haven't watched it, take it out, or take a look at it if you're interested, and I had a lot of fun doing it. I hope you enjoyed it if you've seen it, and if you haven't seen it and decide to, I hope you enjoy it as well. But right now we're back to some StarCraft 2 action, and we've got a 2v2 on high ground with Contrarian, the green Zerg, and Spartan, the blue Zerg. And they're going up against Dunamai, the teal Terran, and wolfpack, the yellow Terran. So we got a Zerg versus Terran on high ground, 2v2. Let's get the production tab up. That is not the production tab. It's because I hit the wrong key because they're right next to each other. And let's see what we're going to do. Are we going to start an early wall off here for the Terrans? Well, no, actually, Dunamai's not going to do the wall off. Let's see what kind of base they got here. They got a pretty big base. It's a small ramp. I mean, for a 2v2, it's a small ramp to defend, but a huge base. So if there are any proxy pylons or Reaper play, or heck, you could even proxy a hatch in there and they probably wouldn't see it. But it looks like Wolfpack's going to be doing the wall off, which means it'll be almost impossible for the Zerg to get in here anytime in the next few minutes. And Dunamai's not going to use that supply depot for the wall off. Maybe he decided to wall off late. Maybe he didn't want such a weak building there, but they got a little bit of a gap left. And what do we have our Zerg players up to? It looks like we got an early expand going down here for Contrarian. It's probably about a 15 hatch, and we also have an early expand going down here for Spartan. Also looks like it may have been a little bit sooner, maybe even a 14 hatch. I don't know, I missed it too early. So we're going to have early expands here, and with this wall off going down here, I am betting that early expand will pay off for them in the long run, because they'll be able to get a really good macro up. And it looks like these two are not in any hurry to push out whatsoever. And are we going to finish off that wall, or is he going to go for... Looks like he's going to go for a little bit of a scout. Yeah, a very little bit of a scout. Going to sit there and scout at the edge of the ramp. Oh, Dunamai instantly throwing down the tech lab, and then Wolfpack's going to finish off that wall. So the wall off is complete. Oh, looks like Wolfpack is going to scout the wrong direction. And we got this Overlord moving here. Ooh, he's not close enough where we can necessarily know whether or not there's a base there. I guess he could see if there's anyone mining that patch, but he needs to move that Overlord a little bit further just to be sure. And it looks like Wolfpack's changed his mind. Oh, we probably saw... Oh, I bet he saw this Overlord, and he's like, wait a minute, they can't be down there if there's an Overlord coming in that direction. Even with Overlord speed, were it possible at this point in the game, I don't think an Overlord could get over there that fast from either of these two spawn locations. But he's going to scout that, or at least he's going to scout between it. I'm not really sure what his objective is here, unless he's going to proxy at barracks. But I would expect that to be spotted almost immediately. Yeah, I don't know if you could hide a barracks in there. It'd be really tough. And a Roach Warren going down here for Contrarian. Spartan looks like he's still on pool. We check the income tab, and it looks like Spartan's got the econ lead right now. Oh, and he's going to get scanned right now just as that Roach Warren went down. So they're going to see that the Roach Tech is on the way from Spartan. So we're going double Roaches here. That's an interesting choice. Now, Roach is pretty good against the Marine. It's not great, but they hold up to the Marine's heavy rate of fire, but low damage per shot. But, you start getting out Marauders and tanks, and they become absolutely worthless. Now, they're also really good against Hellions. This crowd, though, not a Hellion bunch. As we can see this tech lab, I'll bet you dollars to donuts that is not going for a Blue Flame upgrade. Oh, we've already got the engineering bay up here. He had that selected, but he didn't actually start any upgrades. He could afford either upgrade if you would want to, but he's opting against it. And again, another tech lab here. It looks like Wolfpack's going to be going heavy into the tanks and getting out some Marine Marauder to boot. And that combat shield, a very good upgrade. And it looks like Spartan's getting ready to take a third. Wow, that would be, unless he's scouting, that would be a really... Is he scouting? They don't really... Oh, they know where their opponents are, so I'm not sure. Is he getting ready? Oh, wow. Taking a ridiculously early third when actually this gold looks like it would be easier to defend. And it's a little bit around the corner from their base, but I guess it might more likely that's going to get scouted before this corner base here, especially since they already know where their opponents are. So we'll have to see if that base pays off for them. Looks like the tanks have just started coming. Both of them are going double tanks. Ooh, and what we got on production right now, we're getting some Evo chambers out for both players, several roaches out. If they get that siege mode out, those roaches, I don't know. I suppose if they go for some burrow tech and some tunneling claws, that might work out, but tanks are really good at taking out roaches. Roaches are not that fast, even with the speed upgrade. About all they can do is hope they survive long enough to get in the tank's face, but I don't like this tech path right now because the Contrarian's going for double Evo, going for those valuable 1-1 upgrades, and Spartan, he's got an Evo chamber, not exactly using it yet. I'm not really sure what his options are here, but if he's gonna go for an early third, he's definitely gonna need a drone up right now. And he's got a lot of larvae. He can pump out a lot of drones, and we're going to double check the income. He's in second place now. Contrarian is once again taking the econ lead, as he loves to do. Oh, and looks like we have a scout here. Wolfpack taking this watchtower, saying everything's move out. If he's watching, he's going to see that drone moving out. It's going to look pretty suspicious. No Zerg is going to scout with a drone at the 9-minute mark, and oh, he's going to take that gold, and it is going to be instantly spotted by Wolfpack, which means this could be very well be an early target. In fact, plop your tanks down right here, and you can siege this base while preventing them from doing any sort of reinforcements, because they have to run all the way, wow, there's no way can they run around this way? Okay, they could run around this way, but still, putting your tanks right here and you could deny this expansion so easily. And it looks like we're getting a lair up here for Spartan. Finally getting a +1, getting the Evo chamber a little bit of use. And I wonder what he's going to do with this lair tech. Is he going to get them roach upgrades, or maybe he's going to go for some actual lair tiered units. And what are our Terrans up to right now? We're getting an orbital command here, so Dunamai is just taking his expansion. Wolfpack is a little bit further behind his expansion, but you know, they're Terran. They could pretty much one-base this to win, because you know they're Terran. Oh, we did mix in some Hellions here. That is an interesting choice. And we got a conga line of tanks here from Dunamai. So maybe he is going... Oh. Wolfpack is actually going the Hellion route. I was mistaken. Although if you point out when I bet you that Dunamai was going tanks and not Hellions. I never said anything about Wolfpack, so technically I have still won that bet, and you need to pay up. So we are going Hellions. Not going to be any good right now. There are no Zerglings on the map. Let us double check. There are absolutely 0 Zerglings on the map. So these Hellions are next to worthless. If he can get them in the if he gets them in the drone line, they're not next to worthless. And with the blue flame, they'll just absolutely destroy those drones. But they got to get them there first, and that is a bit of a dead end, my friend. You're gonna have to. Ooh, and there's some rocks there, and Contrarian's got an Overlord. He's gonna see this, and oh, please don't tell me he's gonna try to take out the rocks with Hellions. Oh, that would have been. Oh my, that would have been something else. And Spartan's got this expansion up. He looks like he's getting some spines there, putting some spores back there. His defenses are kind of spread out. I suppose he doesn't have to worry about DTs, so he doesn't necessarily need the spine next to the spores. Ghosts are probably much less of a threat, especially at this stage of the game. These Hellions are starting to poke around. I don't know what they're going to get themselves up to, but there are a lot of roaches around, and they will deny this fairly quickly. Oh, but this creep tumor might pay the price. Oh, and it just survives with 2 hit points. And these spines are going to do quite a number on these roaches, so you got to be careful. Yeah, got to be careful with your queen. And throwing down a transfuse, I don't know if it's quite necessary. These Hellions are really going to start going down now. And here come the roaches, but he's got to pull that queen back. He doesn't want to lose the queen. Oh man, that queen has got a set of brass ones on her. So those Hellions are going to go completely to waste. And we check the units lost. All 9 Hellions, no damage done. That was a massive waste. He needed to realize there was nothing he could do there. He could have pulled right around the back here, maybe put the Hellions right here. He could have taken out all these drones, stayed out of the spines, but no, he decided to take the spines head on, and that was a huge mistake. Oh, it looks like they're gonna. Oh no, Dunamai is gonna be taking this. He's doing exactly what I told him to do. And that queen just gets completely pasted. And here come those roaches. How much damage are they going to do before they get in there? And they, oh, they're going to be a bit of a flanking attack now. So this might actually be able to stop this better than I thought. But then again, there are a lot of roaches and not a lot of tanks, and they had no defense. No defense. You cannot just leave your tanks out there. I mean, if there had been Zerglings, they'd have been on top of those tanks and just completely decimating them anyhow. So the Zerg are in a commanding lead right now because they're just, I don't know what's going on here. And Dunamai's got some Vikings. I'm not sure what the point of those are for. He might want to fly down the ramp, or might fly around the ramp and fly around the map, not the ramp, the map, and start sniping these overlords. And it looks like Wolfpack's going to be taking a gold of his own. And a big drone transfer Contrarian. I think this might be a bit too many. Oh, at least he needs to get some guys on these gases, though, because he is a bit oversaturated here right now. And we got Stimpack researching here for Wolfpack. Dunamai going for the armory. Is he going for 2-2 upgrades? Does he have any upgrades yet? He's not going for 2-2, so he must be going for some Thors. I don't know. Roaches are not bad against the Thors, and here's what these Vikings should be doing right now. Yeah, I don't know if you need that many Vikings for it, but they will completely stymie Contrarian if he loses too much supply, although he's got a bit of supply built up right now, so I think it'll be okay for a little while. But I don't know. The Terrans have thrown away so much right now. And there go the Overlords back to the safety of, well, there's really not that much anti-air, so his Vikings could still do a lot of damage if they just ran in there. And I'm not sure where these Hellions are going. Are they going to be scouting around the map looking for extra bases? Might not be a bad idea. Oh, but there's a lot of spines here for Spartan. But again, they're really spread out. Let me see, what's the angle? The Hellions could just zip right around here, plop in back here, and completely destroy these drones. Let's see if they find that base and hope that he doesn't try to take it head on. And where are all these drones going? Oh, that's the gold. Oh, and we got some infestors out for Contrarian. Does he have that pathogen gland upgrade? Oh, we're getting an infestation pit for Spartan too. I don't know if he's also going infestors are going to get that hive tech. He does have the pathogen gland, getting that narrow parasite. These Hellions are still poking around, trying to find expos. I haven't found any yet, though. And it looks like Spartan's got the 1-1 upgrade. He is going for level 2 attack. We don't have any upgrades going here for Contrarian right now. Does he need his... Where would his Evo Chambers go? His Evo Chambers are hiding underneath his Overlords. Yeah, he needs to get his hive up before he can get that tech. He does have the infestation pit, so he could start that. And these Hellions are still poking around. They haven't found anything yet. A bit of a scan there. He could have taken out those creep tumors, so I don't know why. Well, I guess maybe it wasn't him that actually did the scan. And oh, are they gonna miss? Did they miss that base? They did not see that expansion, and they are gonna find this one, but they're gonna be sitting there for a while, giving him plenty of alert. Oh, looks like they're gonna try to take these tanks. This looks like a pretty strong point for them to hit, and it would be well advised not to try to push in there. And they're still trying to burn down this hatchery. Good luck, my friends. You do 8 damage to a hatchery. 8. Yeah, you understand 8, right? And look, looks like we're going to be getting a planetary fortress for Wolfpack's gold. Doesn't think he can defend it that well, and it looks like these roaches are about to put an end to this utter nonsense of trying to take down a hatchery. They did actually do pretty good, but they're not going to get anything for it, because this hatchery is going to start healing itself again, and he did not even try to run those away. He's got to get off the Hellion tech. Please tell me he has stopped producing Hellions. He is not... Oh, if he's going to use Hellions, he's got to do a much better job of picking his targets. He keeps hitting these hardened targets that Hellions are just not designed to kill. We still got the Vikings floating around. Oh, but you got to be careful of these infestors. If Contrarian sees it, he could have all of these guys gone. Oh, we got to watch out for those tanks, though. Just out of range of the tanks, and oh, these infestors are in big trouble right now. But no, they got to siege up. Oh, and he's losing all of his infestors. He's going to try to get away. Is he not even going to try to fungal? No, he's not going to try to fungal. He's just going to get the heck out of there. And oh, it looks like he tried to fungal and he completely misfired. But he only caught one Viking. Completely missing on those fungals. But those Vikings gotta be careful. What are they doing? Oh, they're gonna land? Oh, this seems to be a big mistake. And now he does get a fungal on it. And here come the roaches. Oh, but he does get them lifted off in time. And the roaches are gonna run right into the siege line. Oh, so there's some mistakes being made on both sides right now. Oh, we got an Ultralisk Cabin coming here for Spartan. He hasn't really been putting any money into his melee upgrades, so yeah, he's been putting his money into his ranged upgrades, so the Ultra's choice is a bit strange. So he's throwing in some sports to care of those Vikings. He's going to get that chitinous plating right away. Both Zerg are going Ultras. And, whoops! Ha! Wow, Contrarian almost put his Ultra Cavern right next to his other Ultra Cavern. That would have been embarrassing. We do have the chitinous plating coming from Spartan. 6 Ultras on the way. Ultras are okay against the tanks only because they live a lot longer, and with the tanks all clumped together like this, the splash damage will do quite a lot. But and that Infestor just gets completely destroyed, and that I don't know what that Infestor was aiming at, but he's got to be so careful with these Vikings. He's risking losing them all. What is he doing? And a huge Hellion move out from Wolfpack, who for some reason is not getting any upgrades for his Hellions. Oh, well, he's about to get the vehicle plating upgrade, but I don't think making these Hellions last longer is necessarily what we want to try to do. Oh, and he's getting awful bold with those tanks, and he's got a fungal, and those tanks cannot escape, and they're getting sniped from back here, but he lost a lot of tanks there, and they're pushing forward. They have to pull back. Okay, they do pull back, but he threw away those tanks, and oh, another tank's going to get caught up in it. And is he going to get another fungal off on those Vikings? Does get a couple of them, but he's got to stay out of range. He's getting his units killed. You got to stay out of siege range. Throwing away a lot of units of those tanks that he clearly knows are there. But he's got to keep these tanks here because and here come the Ultras. 4 armor on those Ultras. Oh, they're gonna go after those Hellions. They now are finally hitting the right targets, completely decimating those drones. It looks like. But they are on the run now, but they can easily outrun this army right now, so they can just move on. Oh, gotta be careful of those roaches. So yeah, they need to get out of there, and oh no, they're trapped in a corner. Oh no! Ran himself into a corner. Oh, the horror. The absolute horror. Oh, that could not have gone worse. But they've got to do something about these tanks. Perhaps some infested Terran bombs. He does have Burrow. He could do a lot of damage to these tanks. Throw a bunch of infested Terrans up there from Burrowed state. Or get your Infestor killed. That's another way to go. And he has enough to break this, but it looks like they're just going to run around it. Nope, looks like Contrarian's going to take this thing head on. And whoa, this is just the time when all of his reinforcements are showing up, and he is just going to plow right through this. And never got this gold saturated. That I cannot figure out. You're going to take the gold, but it isn't saturated at all. That's baffling. And here comes a huge push out from Wolfpack. 2-2 upgrade on his Marines. Well, he does finally have the 1-1 for his Hellions, but Hellions are going to do next to squat against this army, and Marines aren't going to do all that great either with 4 armor. Well, they're doing pretty good. There's enough Marines that are actually doing some damage, but they're going against some pretty beefy units. They just do not have the unit composition they need here, but pull next to the Planetary is going to help give them a little bit of extra damage, but it looks like they're quickly losing this battle. A couple of tanks in the backs will help out, and you're going to get these Ultras through there so they can start doing damage. But yeah, as you can see, the ranks are thinning out. Another 18 Ultralisks on the way. I don't know why Spartan's still getting range attacky. Well, I guess he is still making roaches, so that'll work there, but it's not going to do any good for his Ultras. And the Thor is here, but he will be quickly burned down because he's all by his lonesome, and these tanks are not going to help at all. So the push is on. I don't think they have anything to stop it. Pumping out more Thors isn't what you need. The best thing they can do right now, I think, is nom nom. That's brilliant. The best thing they can do right now, I think, is tanks, Marauders. No, actually, just Marauders. That's what they need right now is Marauders. That is the only thing that's going to stop this army. But Marauders could stop it cold. But I bet they don't even have enough tech lab barracks. They don't look like they have enough production facilities. So it looks like this game is going to come to a conclusion. They need to get those tanks sieged up, but it might be a little bit late now because the Ultras at the front door. They're knocking down your buildings. Soon they're going to be splashing all those, but they are thinning out the ranks. This is a lot of tanks. Tanks do get bonus damage against the Ultras. They are doing 55 per shot. Although an Ultros has 500 hit points and 4 armor. Oh, sorry, 5 armor actually. I forgot that extra little armor that's included in there. But they're quickly running out. I don't think they're going to stop us. And where are those tanks going? They're just walking to their demise. Yeah, I don't think they've got enough tanks to do the damage that the last forces did. Thor goes down, the tank goes down. These two tanks are soon to follow, and that's going to be it. They aren't going to be able to mount a defense at this point because they aren't going to be able to get enough anti-armor damage. Marines aren't going to do it. Level 3 armor, put it up if you want. It's not going to do any good. More tanks are rallying to their death. Oh, no, they do stop in time to die. So that's going to be it. That's the power of the swarm. And wow, look at all those ultras. It's a beautiful thing. If you're a Zerg player, which, you know, I am. Oh, and there's going to be the GG. And it looks like Wolfpack's just going to kind of revel in the awesome sight of what 2 Zergs that are on 4 to 5 bases can do, while they're pretty much on, they were barely on 3 bases this game, so I think they just got out macroed. And there's the GG from Wolfpack, so I hope you enjoyed this game, and have a day.